Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय। श्रील वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Khanda. Let me just open it again. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. So, we were reading yesterday how Mahaprabhu, desiring to spend some time with Ganga Devi, uh, went to West Bengal, and he went to Vidyanagar to Vidyavachaspati's home. And he told Vidyavachaspati that I am actually desiring to go to Mathura, but um, before going there, I want to spend some time here with Ganga Devi in her waters. So I wish to stay in your house. So Vidyavachaspati was very happy, and he said that, my lord, you can stay here for as long as you like, and everything here, my house, my property, my paraphernalia, my family members, everything is yours. Just stay here, and no one will know about your stay. But soon everyone understood, how can the sun be hidden? So everybody came to know that Mahaprabhu is in Vidyavachaspati's home, and they just forgot everything about their families, their children, their wives, and they all started uh, going in great haste to Vidyavachaspati's home from all directions. The roads were all crowded. There was no space on the roads. Millions of them were going on the roads, thousands of millions of people. And they were going through the jungles and on the roads. Wherever they were just walking through thorny thickets, you know, and and nothing happened to anyone. They just all of them arrived, and the entire village of uh, this where Vidyanagar was packed with people, and even in the outskirts, it was completely packed with people who came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And everyone, they were speaking to each other, saying that what they were going to ask when they see Mahaprabhu. They'll say, "My Lord, please deliver me from the bondage of this material existence." And someone else would say, "Oh, simply by seeing you, all my desires are fulfilled. There is no need to ask anything." And someone else would ask for their, for their dear ones. Somebody's a gambler, so please, make him give up gambling. Like this. And they were talking to each other like this, and they finally arrived there. And after arriving there, they saw Mahaprabhu is not there. So then they thought, when we perform kirtan, this will attract Mahaprabhu. So loudly they started roaring, Hari, 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 Hari. Then this sound could be heard in the entire universe. It appeared that the whole universe would break to pieces by that sound. Hearing that, the Lord's names, Mahaprabhu got up and he came outside and he gave darshan to everyone. Everyone was completely, they saw the beautiful form. They had never seen anything as beautiful as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His beautiful face and his beautiful, charming smile. And then Mahaprabhu instructed all of them that all of you uh, uh, worship Krishna. And at every moment, you chant Krishna's names, you worship Krishna. And make Krishna, you think of Krishna in your every breath, like that. So everyone took it as a blessing, and they were very satisfied to get that blessing. But right in front of their vision, all of a sudden, Mahaprabhu disappeared. So without even informing Vidya Vachaspati, Mahaprabhu had left his house along with his associates, and he had gone to Kuliagram. He went to Kuliagram, and uh, so now, meanwhile, all these people were wondering, they thought Mahaprabhu went back inside the house, and they were, you know, waiting for him to come outside, and he was not coming. And then they were getting more, anxious to see him. People were climbing on, thousands of them were climbing on one tree, on one branch of the tree to get a glimpse of Mahaprabhu. And more people were coming, but they couldn't come inside because everything was packed with people. And they were waiting to see Mahaprabhu, and they were in ecstasy when they saw Mahaprabhu. And again, when they couldn't see him, they were in great distress. So then uh, they were waiting, and then Vidya Vachaspati came outside. The people were roaring outside, wanting to see Mahaprabhu. So he was already tormented. He realized that Mahaprabhu was not there. He searched for him everywhere, he couldn't find. He understood that Mahaprabhu had left. So he came outside and he told everyone, uh, it's with great regret that I have to inform you that our Mahaprabhu has left, and I have no news of, in which direction he has gone. He left in the middle of the night, apparently. I don't even know when he left and in which direction he went. And they were thinking that Vidya Vachaspati is lying. So they, some people went to Vidya Vachaspati and started telling him, just give me one chance to see, please, only me, it's just me, like that. And he tried to explain to them, no, he's not there. And then all the other people, they got angry. What kind of a devotee is this? Even small children, when they get candies, a big container of candy, then he will share it with others, not that he'll sit and eat all of it by himself. And this is a devotee. Devotees are supposed to share mercy with others. He wants to have all of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for himself, like that. So they started, they were rebuking him. And Vidya Vachaspati didn't know what to do. On one hand, he is tormented from the Lord's separation, and on the other hand, by the anger of all the people who were standing outside. So then he prayed. Then from nowhere one Brahmana came and informed him in the year that the Lord has gone to Kulia. So Vidyavachaspati uh, came out, was very, relieved, and he informed everyone, I just got news that Mahaprabhu has gone to Kulyagram. Let us all go there. See, unnecessarily you were blaming me. He's gone to Kulyagram. Let us all go there. Then in great jubilation, everyone headed towards Kulyagram. All of them. And then this news spread to more people that Mahaprabhu is in Kulia. So not just all the people that were gathered in Vidyanagar, but more people joined them. So now the number multiplied even thousands of millions of times more than that was already there. And they all went to Kulia Nagar, which is modern day Navadvip. And uh, Vidyavachaspati, after arriving there, he started looking for Mahaprabhu. Searching, searching, searching. He couldn't find Mahaprabhu anywhere. And finally, he found Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu gave him darshan. And then he offered Dandavat obeisances to Mahaprabhu. So we read here yesterday, again and again reciting verses like these. He started glorifying Mahaprabhu, offering prayers to Mahaprabhu. What did Vidyavachaspati said? When the Lord was in sight, Vidyavachaspati, the son of Visharada, at once fell to the ground and offered Dandavat obeisances. Again and again he recited verses describing Lord Chaitanya's descent to this world. Again and again he bowed down. He said, to deliver the whole world you have come in the form of Lord Chaitanya. You have already delivered everyone who has fallen into the well of birth and death. O Lord Chaitanya, your mercy is like the ocean. Birth after birth, please always stay in my heart. Seeing the whole world plunged in the ocean of birth and death, again and again you mercifully shower ecstatic spiritual love upon it. O peerlessly merciful Lord Chaitanya, please always appear in my heart. Please always appear in my heart. Again and again, reciting verses like these, Vidyavachaspati glorified the Lord. Again and again he offered Dandavat obeisances. I offer my respectful obeisances to Visharada, who is saying this. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, I offer my respectful obeisances to Visharada, whose two sons were Sarvabhauma and Vidyavachaspati. Lord Chaitanya cast a merciful glance at Vidyavachaspati. Then Vidyavachaspati began to speak. Offering Dandavat obeisances and then folding his hands, Vidyavachaspati said, O noble-hearted Lord, please hear my request. You are exalted, blissful, and supremely independent. You do whatever you wish. You go wherever you wish. Only you, only if you reveal yourself can anyone know you. Your heart establishes what is good. What rule or prohibition must you follow? All these people do not know this truth about you. In their hearts, they criticize me. They say I am cruel. Not knowing the truth, the people say that I am hiding you in my house. For half a sesame seed's worth of time, O Lord, please come outside. Then the people will say that I am a true Brahmana. Because now Mahaprabhu went to, Vidyavachaspati found Mahaprabhu, but it's not like Mahaprabhu is giving darshan to everyone. Vidyavachaspati is seeing Mahaprabhu wherever Mahaprabhu was, and others didn't see. He was searching and he found. And he offered Dandavat obeisances and offered prayers. And then he said, you are supremely independent, right? You can go wherever you like. You don't need permission from anyone. You are the Supreme Lord. But these people don't understand this. And they're thinking that I was hiding you. And they're criticizing me that what kind of a Brahmana I am. If you come out once and if you show yourselves to them that yes, you are actually here in Kulyagram, right? You had left Vidyanagar and you have come here, then this will save my honor, right? That I am a true Brahmana. Yeah. They are thinking that I'm hiding you in my house. So just for one moment, no, I won't take much of your time. For one moment, please come outside. Then the people will say I'm a true Brahmana. Smiling at the Brahmana's words, by his own will, Lord Chaitanya at once went outside. Seeing that the Lord had come outside, everyone became plunged in an ocean of bliss. From the four directions, the people offered Dandavat obeisances. Then they spoke many prayers, whatever was in their hearts. So Mahaprabhu came out, everyone offered Dandavat obeisances to see Mahaprabhu once again, and they started offering their prayers, whatever they wanted to say to the Lord in their hearts, whatever they had kept the prayers, now they started saying them. Numberless millions of people chanted the holy names of Lord Hari. Everyone was plunged in an ocean of bliss. In place after place, thousands and thousands of groups joyfully sang Kirtan. In this way, Lord Chaitanya, the jewel of the sannyasis, day and night filled all the worlds with the blissful names of Lord Krishna. Yeah, Mahaprabhu induces everyone to chant Krishna's names. Wherever he goes, people are simply chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So many thousands of kirtan parties were going on in all different places at the same time. Thousands of kirtan parties, everyone chanting Hare Krishna. So, uh, day and night, not just during the day and night, Lord Chaitanya filled all the worlds with the blissful names of Lord Krishna. By tasting a portion of a drop of that happiness, by tasting a portion of a drop, a portion of a drop of that happiness, Brahmaloka, Shivaloka, and the other higher worlds became free of all sufferings. What type of happiness? By chanting the names of Krishna, the bliss that is experienced. So Mahaprabhu, in Mahaprabhu's Kirtan, induced by seeing Mahaprabhu, when everyone is chanting Hare Krishna, and the happiness that they were experiencing, getting a portion of a drop of that happiness, even Brahmaloka, Shivaloka, and all the other higher planets become free from all sufferings. By tasting a drop of that happiness, the kings of the yogis and the kings of the sages became wild with bliss. Right? So there are different, there's Ashtanga Yoga, and there is rishis, tapasvis, munis. So there are different, there is Brahmananda, right? And there is Ananda that you get by performing yoga. And those who are successful masters in their particular paths, the yogis and the tapasvis, by getting one drop of the bliss experienced by chanting in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Kirtan, by receiving one drop of that, they all became ecstatic. They became wild with bliss. Manifesting the form of a sannyasi, Lord Krishna was then present on the earth. The sinners who say that there is no evidence to prove the existence of a supreme, all-powerful God are very pathetic. Everyone should feel sorry for them. Their birth, pious deeds, education, and Brahminical virtues are all useless. So anyone who's an atheist, right? He may be highly educated, he can be a Brahmana, but in his heart, if he says, what is the proof that there is one Supreme Lord, right? Anyone who thinks like that, you can understand that all his, whatever material qualities he may be having, they're all useless. They're simply useless. O my brothers, worship Lord Chaitanya's feet. By hearing about Lord Chaitanya, one breaks the bonds of ignorance. Simply by remembering him, one becomes free of all sufferings. Therefore, worship the feet of he who is the jewel of sannyasis. Seeing the great Sankirtan in four directions, Lord Chaitanya and his associates swam in bliss. Mahaprabhu himself became very, very blissful, seeing everyone performing Sankirtan. Lord Chaitanya wept wept a flood of tears of joy. It was as if the Ganga were flowing in the four directions at once. Lord Chaitanya was overwhelmed with the bliss of Sankirtan. He was not in external consciousness. So you see, if you want to please Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then we should put all our energy into Sankirtan, congregational chanting. Because when devotees come together and perform Kirtan, Mahaprabhu is overjoyed. He is overwhelmed with ecstasy and he is weeping tears of joy when everyone is performing Sankirtan very enthusiastically. So it was as if the Ganga were flowing in the four directions. Lord Chaitanya was overwhelmed with the bliss of Sankirtan. He was not in external consciousness. Lord Chaitanya joyfully danced with the Sankirtan groups he saw before him. Everyone thought themselves very fortunate that they could assist Lord Chaitanya in his pastimes. Lord Nityananda was the most agitated with ecstatic love. He embraced Lord Chaitanya and made him dance. So, not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was with his associates. So Nityananda Prabhu was also there. Nityananda Prabhu was is the second self of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So seeing all the devotees performing kirtan by that Sankirtan, Nityananda Prabhu was most agitated in ecstasy and he embraced Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And by that embrace, Mahaprabhu, already he was in ecstasy. Now this made Mahaprabhu dance, right? So they were dancing. Everyone wanted just one glimpse of Mahaprabhu, and here was Mahaprabhu dancing with them. You can imagine. Overcome with bliss and love, Lord Nityananda danced with Lord Chaitanya. Roaring like a lion, Lord Chaitanya danced. Anyone who hears that sound finds his sufferings broken to pieces. Right? In ecstasy, Mahaprabhu is roaring like a lion. Whoever hears that roaring, he'll find that all his sufferings are broken to pieces. In the past, when he tasted the nectar of that Supreme Lord, Shiva became intoxicated and unaware that clothes no longer covered his body. That same Supreme Personality of Godhead now danced among the people. So, who is this Lord who is dancing? Is the same Lord in whose kirtan, chanting whose names, Lord Shiva became so ecstatic thinking about this Lord performing kirtan that he was dancing and dancing and all his clothes fell off and he was not even conscious of that. He was just dancing. That same Lord, chanting whose names even Lord Shiva goes into ecstasy, forgets everything else. That Lord himself is now dancing on the earth. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom all the demigods yearn to see, now danced before everyone. Right? Everyone, even the great, great demigods, are simply yearning to get one glimpse of the Lord. Now he's dancing amongst human beings on the earth, not even the demigods, and he's dancing amongst them. What great fortune! He's dancing before everyone. In this way, the people floated in great bliss. Lord Chaitanya's appearance delivered the entire world. From the 10 directions, everyone gazed at the Lord as he danced. Lord Chaitanya was not in external consciousness. Tasting the nectar of ecstatic love, he had become wild. Gazing at everyone, everyone became plunged in an ocean of bliss. Okay. So Mahaprabhu is not in external consciousness. He's wild in ecstasy and he's looking at everyone. And everyone, by getting that uh, glance of Mahaprabhu, they all went into an ocean of bliss. When Lord Chaitanya came to Kulia, the sinners, lowly people, ordinary people, and great devotees all became delivered. So, all types of people, those who were offenders, those who were sinners, and those who were just ordinary people, plus the great devotees. When Mahaprabhu came to Kulia, everyone was delivered. Simply by hearing of Lord Chaitanya's coming to Kulia Gram, one breaks all the bonds of karma. So you may be thinking, wow, they were so fortunate, right? By hearing the Lord's roar, by seeing him dance, and by performing kirtan in his presence, even Shivaloka, Brahmaloka, everyone is delivered. How fortunate those people were. They were all delivered. We are so unfortunate. No, if you simply hear of what happened, all the bonds that are tying you, your karmic bonds, they will all be broken also, simply by hearing about how Mahaprabhu came to Kulia, how he performed Kirtan. By allowing everyone to see him, Lord Chaitanya made everyone joyful at heart. Staying outside, Lord Chaitanya sat down with his associates. At that time, a Brahmana approached and tightly grasped the Lord's feet. The Brahmana said, Lord, I have one request. If you give me a moment, I will tell you. Unaware of the glory of devotional service, I committed many sins. I blasphemed many Vaishnavas. I would say, how in Kali Yuga is it possible for anyone to be a true Vaishnava? How can anyone truly sing Kirtan? Moment after moment, I blaspheme many Vaishnavas in this way. That means he would see any Vaishnava performing Kirtan and he would say, how are you a Vaishnava? There is no Vaishnava possible in Kali Yuga. Right? There are no Vaishnavas. You are not a Vaishnava, in other words. And nobody can perform Kirtan in Kali Yuga. In this way, he was blaspheming Vaishnavas. Now he is coming and confessing with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Moment after moment, remembering these sins, my heart burns with grief. O Lion who delivers all the worlds, please tell me how I can break my sins into pieces. So this is very instructive for us also, right? So we also keep committing offenses because of our ignorance. So how, if we have committed offenses to Vaishnavas, how can I break that offense? Very important point. This Brahmana is asking Mahaprabhu, how can I, how can I break my sins into pieces? Sins means specifically here I have committed offenses to Vaishnavas. Hearing the Brahmana's sincere words, Lord Chaitanya smiled and spoke this remedy. O Brahmana, please listen. If with his own mouth, it's a very, very important point, huh? If with his own mouth a person drinks poison and then with the same mouth he also drinks the nectar of immortality, that means amrita. So you have taken poison. What does poison do? You'll be killed, right? Or a snake has bitten you, snake's poison enters your body. What does the doctor do? There's an antidote to snake poison, right? So similarly, you have taken poison. After that, now you take amrita. With the same mouth, if he also drinks the nectar of immortality, then the poison will wither away and the nectar will make the person's body immortal. Please hear this explanation. Now, not knowing what was happening, you blasphemed Vaishnavas unknowingly also, right? Not knowing what was happening, you blasphemed Vaishnavas. In this way, you drank poison, right? With your mouth, how did you drink poison? With your mouth you blaspheme the Vaishnavas, and that is like drinking poison with your mouth. Now with your mouth you should always drink the nectar of Lord Krishna's holy names and qualities. So first what you should do, always with the same mouth with which you have blasphemed Krishna's devotees, with the same mouth you constantly chant Krishna's names and Krishna's qualities. The same mouth that once blasphemed Vaishnavas should now praise Krishna's glories and Krishna's names, but also with the same mouth, the Vaishnava that you have blasphemed, with the same mouth you glorify that Vaishnava, praise that Vaishnava. This is the difficult thing for us, isn't it? So if we blaspheme somebody because we think that person is not good or whatever we speak, now to say good things genuinely about that devotee with the same mouth, So whoever I told, right, oh, this person is not good or whatever, with the same mouth again you go and tell the same people and everyone else, this person is very good, this person is very good. This is the medicine. The same mouth that once blasphemed Vaishnavas should now sing their praises. O Brahmana, in poetry and songs, you should sing the glories of the devotees. You should also sing in poetry and in songs the glories of devotees in general, because you have blasphemed devotees. You know, some people criticize all devotees, just devotees in general. Envious, isn't it? Like, devotees means, oh, those Hare Krishnas, like that. Now you should compose songs and sing, glorifying, oh, how wonderful are devotees of Krishna. They're so great. In general, all devotees also glorify the devotees of the Lord. By drinking the nectar of Lord Krishna's glories, you will counteract the poison of blasphemy. So this is the thing. So what did Mahaprabhu say? First, you should always chant Krishna's names and Krishna's pastimes. Then the same devotees whom you have blasphemed in the past, now you praise those devotees. And also you in general glorify all the devotees of the Lord, and you sing their, their glorification in songs, in poetry. By this you will counteract the poison of blasphemy. What I say is the truth. Now who's saying this? The supreme authority Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. And Mahaprabhu is saying, what I say is the truth. If a person who unwittingly or unwillingly commits blasphemy, so again, now if you do blasphemy willingly, that's now another big problem, right? So the severity is more. But unwillingly, if a person commits blasphemy and stops blaspheming others, so he had committed a blasphemy, and now first of all you have to stop blaspheming others, and then instead of blaspheming you praise Lord Vishnu and the Vaishnavas, then that person will destroy all his sins. Somehow or other in the past I have committed Vaishnava aparadh, blaspheming Vaishnavas. First of all, stop that blasphemy now. Don't blaspheme anymore. And instead of blaspheming, praise. Praise the Lord and praise his devotees. By this, your sins will be destroyed. That is the right way to destroy them. Millions of rituals of atonement will not destroy them. Right? In Karmakanda, you have Prayaschitta. Give this donation, that charity, this vrata, that puja. Millions of such rituals of Prayaschitta will not destroy the offenses to Vaishnavas. The only remedy is you should constantly sing the glories of the Lord, chant his names and glorify the devotees, and stop blaspheming from now on. O Brahmana, go and sing the glories of the devotees, then you will become free of all sins. Hearing these words from the Lord's graceful mouth, the Vaishnavas called out, Jai, Jai, Hari. In this way, Lord Chaitanya described the best atonement for the sin of blasphemy. What is the best atonement for blaspheming someone? It's a very, very important point here. Of course, if the person is, nearby you, you go and beg forgiveness from that devotee also. But in general, always, because it's sometimes what happens is externally you say sorry, but in your heart you still maintain that bhavagrahi janardana, isn't it? Krishna is looking at our heart, so it's important. So if we are genuinely repenting, we stop, first of all, stop blaspheming anymore, and then you, with your mouth, you don't blaspheme them and you glorify the devotees. That's what. Any sinner who, not honoring Lord Chaitanya's order, blasphemes the Vaishnavas will be plunged in an ocean of sufferings. Yeah, not caring for Mahaprabhu's order, if we prefer to listen to our own minds, right, or follow someone else, then the result is we will be plunged in an ocean of sufferings. Anyone who honors Lord Chaitanya's order as the essence of the Vedas, and anyone who accepts Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's orders as the final conclusion of all the Vedas. Whatever Mahaprabhu says, that's the ultimate. I don't need to go beyond this, right, to find anything else. This is the ultimate. Anyone who honors Lord Chaitanya's order as the essence of the Vedas will become happy. And anyone who neglects Mahaprabhu's orders will be plunged in an ocean of sufferings. And anyone who honors Mahaprabhu's orders as the essence of the Vedas will become happy. He will cross the ocean of repeated birth and death. In this way, Lord Chaitanya described the truth to that Brahmana. The next moment, so you see, we also read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Mahaprabhu went to Kulyagram, he delivered all the offenders who had offended him earlier. When Mahaprabhu was in the Grihastha ashram, many people had offended him and his devotees, so he delivered all of them. So first this Brahmana came and asked this question. The next moment, Devananda Pandit approached the Lord. When Lord Chaitanya was enjoying pastimes as a householder, Devananda Pandit did not have faith in him. For that reason, he did not see the Lord. He didn't see the Lord. He was qualified to see the Lord. Why did he not see the Lord? The reason lies in Lord Krishna himself. After the Lord accepted sannyas and went away, by good fortune, Devananda met Vakreshwar Pandit. You see, this is also a very instructive lesson here. The principle is the Lord's mercy follows a devotee's mercy. When a devotee desires to give mercy to someone, then automatically the Lord will give mercy. Automatically means this is the Lord's choice. He won't give mercy by himself. When his devotee gives mercy, then that devotee's mercy will be followed by the Lord's mercy. Because that devotee is so dear to Krishna, whatever he desires, Krishna will do. So what happened was, as long as Mahaprabhu was in the same town, Navadvip, as a householder, Devananda Pandit never saw him. And he was a teacher on Srimad Bhagavatam. He was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, but he never saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu took sannyas and he went away, at that time, by good fortune, Devananda met Vakreshwar Pandit. Vakreshwar Pandit was a very dear associate of Lord Chaitanya. Simply by hearing about Vakreshwar, all the world becomes purified. He was the personification of eternal love for Lord Krishna. He was always in ecstasy. When he danced, the demigods and demons became enthralled. So, Vakreshwar Pandit is known for his dancing in Kirtan. He could dance for several hours, maybe even days. He could just keep dancing without doing anything, in great ecstasy. So when he danced in Kirtan, both the demigods and demons became enthralled. He manifested tears, trembling, perspiration, laughter, roaring, standing up of the body's hairs, becoming pale, fainting, and many other symptoms of ecstasy. By Lord Chaitanya's mercy, all the symptoms of ecstasy entered Vakreshwar's body when he danced. Vakreshwar Pandit felt very intense ecstasy. Who has the power to describe his ecstasies? Just recently, like the day before yesterday, we were reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu sitting on the seashore in Jagannath Puri and gazing at the sea. He remembered Ganga, Yamuna, and then he started performing Kirtan with all his associates. And while performing Kirtan, he went into such heights of ecstasy that all the symptoms of ecstasy appeared on his body at the same time, and they stayed there. And not even for a single moment Mahaprabhu was feeling any separation from the Lord, because he was not in the external consciousness, he was in ecstasy. So there it is said that these ecstasies are actually different incarnations of the Lord himself. They are personalities, like trembling of the body. That ecstasy is an expansion of Krishna. And all different ecstasies, they're all personalities. Simultaneously, they all appeared when Mahaprabhu was dancing. So this even happened to Vakreshwar Pandit by Mahaprabhu's mercy, because he was such a great devotee. He felt very intense ecstasy. Who has the power to describe his ecstasies? By divine arrangement and attracted by the nectar of ecstatic love, Vakreshwar Pandit stayed for some time at Devananda Pandit's ashram. So this is by divine arrangement, right? Vakreshwar Pandit stayed in Devanand Pandit's ashram. Seeing Vakreshwar's bodily effulgence and great devotion to Lord Vishnu, devotion without equal in the three worlds, Devanand Pandit became very happy at heart. Remember, Devanand Pandit was not a devotee. Although he was speaking, he was a lecturer on Srimad Bhagavatam. He was running a school. He had many students and he was teaching Srimad Bhagavatam. But he never taught Srimad Bhagavatam from the angle of devotional service. The fact is, every word of Srimad Bhagavatam is loudly screaming about bhakti to Krishna. But he never spoke about bhakti when he was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. So, but here for the first time now he is in such close quarters with a pure devotee who's always in ecstasy. So seeing this, seeing the devotion of Vakreshwar Pandit, which is not equal to anything in the three worlds, he became very happy at heart. So this is also important, right? Those who are envious, they don't feel happy when they see devotees. They mock them, they ridicule them, they even become angry with them, right? Go get a job, why you're wasting your life, like that. But if somebody is actually, by seeing devotees rendering devotional service, by seeing devotees, simply seeing devotees, if somebody is feeling happy in his heart, that itself gives them eligibility to enter into devotional service. If you feel happy seeing a devotee, that gives you eligibility. Look at this. Devanand Pandit was feeling happy. He became very happy at heart when he saw the devotion of Vakreshwar Pandit. Although he himself was not speaking about devotional service before, he was not devotee. He was a Brahman. He was not a devotee. It's sincere love, because he was so happy seeing Devanand Pandit, Vakreshwar Pandit. With sincere love, he served Vakreshwar Pandit. This is called, the mercy of a devotee. Mercy of a devotee comes in various ways. Vakreshwar Pandit didn't even have to preach to him or anything. Simply by his bhakti, his love for Krishna, he attracted the hearts of even those who were not devotees. He attracted them. And by this, he's actually giving his mercy to them. And when the devotee gives mercy, Krishna's mercy will come. So, Devanand Pandit was sincerely serving Vakreshwar Pandit, being very happy to see him. When Vakreshwar danced, Devanand, stick in hand, walked about to keep the crowds back. He was very protective of Vakreshwar Pandit now. He was serving him. So when we heard already, Vakreshwar Pandit, when he danced, even demigods and demons were enthralled. And when he danced, so many ecstasies would appear. You can imagine crowds gathering around him, getting closer and closer to him. So to protect Vakreshwar Pandit, Devananda Pandit would go around with a stick, right? Keeping the crowds back. When Vakreshwar was about to faint in ecstasy, one of the ecstasies is they faint also. So when he was about to faint in ecstasy, Devananda caught him and kept him on his lap. So he became very, very protective and serving Vakreshwar Pandit like that. So when he was about to faint, he just held him, caught him, and lay him on his lap. With respectful devotion in his heart, he took the dust from Vakreshwar's body and smeared it on his own body. Seeing his glory, Devanand stayed with Vakreshwar. In this way, faith in Lord Chaitanya was born within Devananda. See? Shraddha is faith. How this faith came? In the association of devotees. And also devotees, The more the power of the devotees, the more the influence, right, on the person. So, and power of the devotee is not the same. Different devotees have different power. And what is that power? One is the love, the amount of love that they have for the Supreme Lord. That is one. But also the amount of mercy that somebody has. Somebody may have a lot of mercy, right? Others may not have as much. They may have, very, like, they may have a high taste for bhakti, but they may not have that mercy like that. So there are different factors that are involved in deciding what is the power of a devotee. So the more the power, the more that influence is experienced by one who comes in contact with that devotee. And also, yeah, wanting to give mercy. Who is wanting to give mercy, that is one factor. And his prema, that's another one. There are three factors. I'm forgetting the third one now. But so the result is when someone comes in contact with the powerful devotee, his faith is awakened. So in this way, Devananda got faith in Lord Chaitanya. Although he was from the same village, from the beginning he was there, but he never had that faith in Mahaprabhu. But now, because of the association of Vakreshwar Pandit, faith in Lord Chaitanya was born within Devananda. This story bears witness to the truth of what the Puranas say is the fruit of serving a Vaishnava. The Puranas say this, right? The truth that what happens, what is the fruit, what is the fruit of serving a Vaishnava? By serving a Vaishnava, your faith in the Lord is awakened. Even today, everyone can see that this fruit comes. From this very birth, Devananda was religious. From his very birth, Devananda was religious, renounced, and learned. He lectured on Srimad Bhagavatam. He did not lecture on any other books. He was only lecturing on Bhagavatam. He was peaceful, self-controlled, a victor over his senses, and not greedy for material things. What virtue did he not possess? Still, he did not have faith in Lord Chaitanya. Right? He was a Brahmana. Shatkarmo Nipuno Vipra, Mantra Tantra Visharada. Right? Brahmana. He had all the 12 qualities of a Brahmana, but he did not have faith in Lord Chaitanya. By Vakreshwar's mercy, his misconceptions were destroyed. Service to the Vaishnavas is more important than even service to Lord Krishna. This truth Srimad Bhagavatam and all other scriptures affirm very emphatically. In the scriptures it is said, Siddhir bhavati vaneti samshayochuta sevinam nishamsayostu tadbhakta paricharya ratatmanam. The servants of the infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead may or may not attain perfection, right? If you become a servant of the Supreme Lord directly, right? If you say, I'm a devotee of Krishna, I will serve Krishna day and night, you may or may not attain perfection. The scriptures are saying, you may or you may not attain. Who are the servants of Krishna? The servants of the infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead may or may not attain perfection. There is some doubt. But for the servants of the Lord's devotees, there is no doubt. But if you say, I'm a servant of Krishna's devotee, right? I'm not a servant of Krishna. I'm a servant of Krishna's devotee. And in fact, not just devotee, servant, 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 servant. I'm a servant of his servant, 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 servant. Then your deliverance is guaranteed, right? But there is some doubt if you say that I'm a servant of the Supreme Lord, whether you will be delivered or not, whether you will attain perfection or not is doubtful. But if you are a servant of the Lord's devotees, then there is no doubt. You will certainly attain perfection. Therefore, service to the Vaishnavas is the great means of spiritual advancement. By serving the devotees, one attains Lord Krishna. Therefore, because of his association with Vakreshwar Pandit, Devanand Pandit lovingly went to see Lord Chaitanya. As Lord Chaitanya sat, so now this is in Kulia, again Mahaprabhu is in Kulia Gram, right? and Devanand Pandit comes to Mahaprabhu. So this background we are hearing, because how did Devanand Pandit come to Mahaprabhu? When Mahaprabhu was in Navadvip, he never came. Now, after taking sannyas, he's passing by Bengal, and Devanand Pandit came to see Mahaprabhu. Why he came? Because of his association with Vakreshwar Pandit. Now that faith was born in his heart, faith in Lord Chaitanya was born in his heart. So he went to see Mahaprabhu. As Lord Chaitanya sat, Devananda approached. Devananda offered Dandavat obeisances. Hesitating, he stayed back. Right? He was hesitant. He offered obeisances, but he didn't just come close. He was standing at a distance and looking at Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu saw him. Seeing him, Lord Chaitanya was pleased. He made him sit close by. Why? Earlier, Mahaprabhu was once crossing the street. Devananda was going on, he passed by Devananda's house. And Mahaprabhu was walking on the street with his students. And seeing Devananda's house, Mahaprabhu was very angry. And Mahaprabhu said, this person has leprosy in his every limb, but he doesn't even know that. Why Mahaprabhu was angry? Because of the offense, not directly. Devananda Pandit did not directly offend Srivas Thakur, but his students had offended. They just threw Srivas Pandit, Srivas Thakur out of the class. Devanand Pandit was giving a lecture on Bhagavatam. Srivas Thakur, hearing that Bhagavatam, he became attracted. He went inside to hear. And when he was hearing Bhagavatam, he's a pure devotee, right? So he just entered into that pastime, and he was like manifesting symptoms of ecstasy, trembling of the body and crying and fainting. So the students of Devanand Pandit, they thought he's simply creating a nuisance in the class, disturbing the class. So they picked him up and threw him out on the street. Devananda Pandit, who was the teacher, did not object them or did not correct them or chastise them for what they did. He just continued speaking. That was his offense. He didn't do anything personally, but he didn't object his students. Because of that offense, Mahaprabhu was angry with Devananda Pandit in the past. But now, when Devanand Pandit came to see him standing at a distance, Mahaprabhu was very pleased. Why? Because now he served Vakreshwar Pandit. That's the thing. So, seeing him, Lord Chaitanya was pleased. He made him sit close by. Forgiving his previous offenses, Lord Chaitanya gave his mercy. Lord Chaitanya said, you served Vakreshwar, therefore you may approach me. Vakreshwar Pandit is the Supreme Lord's spiritual potency. Anyone who devotedly serves him attains Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna makes his home in Vakreshwar's heart. When Vakreshwar dances, Lord Krishna dances also. If Vakreshwar stays in any place, that place becomes all holy places. It becomes Vaikuntha. And Vakreshwar Pandit stayed where? In Devanand Pandit's house. So his house is now the Lord's abode. Hearing the Lord's words, Devanand folded his hands and prayed, O merciful Lord, to deliver the entire world you appeared in Navadvip. I am a great sinner. Because of my past sins, I did not understand who you really are. I was cheated of the spiritual bliss that comes from you. I didn't know who you are, and I was cheated. I was cheated from the spiritual bliss that comes from you. You were right there, and I couldn't realize who you are. I couldn't take advantage of your association. You are naturally merciful to all living entities. Therefore, I beg you, may I always feel spiritual love for you. This is important, isn't it? Physically being in the presence, being in the presence of the Lord or in the presence of the devotees, but not appreciating, not understanding their greatness, not feeling happy, not feeling that devotion in our heart. How much value does that have? And we may be far, far away, but if our hearts are filled with gratitude, with devotion, which is better? Which is better? Simply physical presence is better and you're feeling all empty in your heart. Do you have that experience? Right? You're there, but someone else is like in ecstasy, feeling, tears and like you can feel that they are really relishing. Relishing means they're experiencing that devotion, and you're there and you're like, you don't feel anything, right? So this is a prayer, and that we cannot force, or we cannot, by our endeavor we cannot get that. We cannot get that. We can only pray and try to please the Lord by serving the devotees, by chanting his names. And it's independent. The Lord is independent. When he wants to give his mercy, he can give his mercy, isn't it? So what is Devanand Pandit praying? Devanand Pandit is saying, I was cheated, right? From the bliss that comes from you. I was right there, but I could not get it, right? But you are very, very merciful to all living entities. I'm begging you, may I always feel spiritual love for you. Lord, I place one request at your feet. Please say what I should do. I am not all knowing. Still, I lecture on a book meant for persons who know everything. Please say how I should lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam. How should I explain it? How should I lecture on it? Lord, please tell me. So nice, huh? So how should I lecture on Bhagavatam? Please tell me, Mahaprabhu. I don't know, right? I'm speaking to this Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for those who are all knowing. We read, Matchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayantah Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanticha Ramanticha. The devotees are always talking about Bhagavatam, relishing it, and they are already liberated, right? Advanced devotees. And this Bhagavatam is meant for devotees. And I don't know anything, and I'm speaking on Bhagavatam to them. I'm speaking on Bhagavatam, which is meant for those who are all knowing. See, the ultimate knowledge is Bhagavan, right? And in that also talking about bhakti to the Lord. This is the topmost subject. So only those who are all knowing, right, they come to the final conclusion and they're rendering devotional service. They relish Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is meant for all knowing, and I'm not all knowing. And I'm speaking on Bhagavatam. So you tell me how I should speak on Bhagavatam. How should I lecture on it? Please tell me. Hearing these words, Lord Caitanya described the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. He said, O Srimad Bhagavatam, please listen. I will say how to lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam. O Srimad Bhagavatam must be O Devanand Pandit, right? Please listen. I will say how to lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam. Into your mouth you should place only the word bhakti, devotional service. Don't say any other word. Okay? So when you lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam, you should only, everything, whatever you say, it should only be about bhakti, not about anything else. Don't speak, don't give a class on Bhagavatam saying that how by reading Bhagavatam you will do better in your job, you will get better marks in your school, you'll do well in your, whatever else, right? Your cow will give more milk if you read Bhagavatam every day, you'll get good health, you'll live long life. No, never say all these things about Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes they make such speeches, right? You read Bhagavad, like those who are obviously materialistic people, these people want it. So to uh, get them in, people say such things. You read Bhagavad Gita and then everything will be nice in your life. No, Bhagavatam you cannot say that. Every word, every shloka in Bhagavatam is only talking about bhakti. Talk only about pure devotional service. Nothing else. Bhagavatam is not indicating to yoga, to jnana, or to karma. No. Only about pure devotional service. This is Mahaprabhu's instruction. If you are speaking on Bhagavatam, what you should do? Don't put any word in your mouth other than bhakti. Don't say any other word. eternal, imperishable, always perfect devotional service to Lord Vishnu is the sole topic in the beginning, middle, and end of Srimad Bhagavatam. Devotional service is the great truth in the numberless universes. When all the universes are destroyed, devotional service will remain perfect and powerful. Easily giving the gift of liberation, Lord Narayan conceals devotional service. Lord Narayan will give you moksha easily, but he won't give you bhakti very easily. He will hide bhakti. Without Lord Krishna's mercy, no one can understand the truth of devotional service. Srimad Bhagavatam explains the truth of devotional service. No other scripture is Srimad Bhagavatam's equal. As Matsya, Kurma, and the other incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead sometimes appear before the people and sometimes disappear, right? They come at a certain time and stay for some time and they disappear. In the same way, Srimad Bhagavatam also appears and disappears. It is not a book written by someone. Yes. Bhagavatam, it's not that, oh, it's not like a history book. Something has happened, all these incidents have happened. After they have happened, then somebody has recorded them and they're speaking. Is Bhagavatam like that? No. Bhagavatam is eternal. It is eternal, just like the Lord is eternal. Bhagavatam is eternal. All the Vedas are eternal. To us it appears, oh, Vyasdev has written them. So then you start calculating. Vyasdev is writing this statement, but so things that he's writing about, they happen later on how he's writing, and he's writing as if it has happened already, isn't it? For example, uh, anyway, examples later. But he's writing some things that were to happen in future. For example, Vyasdev wrote this whole Bhagavatam before Sukadev Goswami spoke. And then he taught this Bhagavatam to Sukadev Goswami. Isn't it? He taught Bhagavatam to Sukadev Goswami. And then Sukadev Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj later on. But Vyasdev wrote this Bhagavatam before speaking to Sukadev Goswami. And in that he's saying, oh, Sukadev Goswami met Parikshit Maharaj. How? Because Bhagavatam is eternal. It simply manifests at a certain time. And again it disappears. And again it manifests. It is eternal. It's not material history that it has happened and then someone is recording and writing. That's what Mahaprabhu is saying to Devanand Pandit here. Only by Lord Krishna's mercy and because of Vyasa's sincere devotion did Srimad Bhagavatam appear on Vyasa's tongue. No one can know all the truths of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the same way, no one can know all the truths of Srimad Bhagavatam. This all the scriptures say. Also, it is important to remember, how much can I speak on Bhagavatam? Can I know everything? Like what one verse is saying, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. Right? Right now, according to the devotee's devotion, okay, this is also a verse from Bhagavatam. There are different birds. Some are small birds, some are middle-sized birds, some are big birds. The bigger birds like eagles, they can fly very high. There are even bigger birds that can actually fly from one planet to another, Srila Prabhupada explains. And there are some birds which can hardly go above the ground for a little bit and then they fall down. They cannot fly too high. But nevertheless, all birds fly. They all have wings and they fly to different heights according to their capacity. But the dharma of the birds is to fly. So similarly, all devotees glorify the Supreme Lord. But everyone's capacity is different. The sky is unlimited. The Lord's glories are unlimited. Birds fly in the sky, but each bird flies as high as it can according to its capacity. And every bird should fly because that is the dharma of the birds to fly. But according to its capacity, some fly lower, some fly higher. But birds fly. This is their dharma. Similarly, devotees must glorify the Supreme Lord. Never mind, I don't have so much capacity. I glorify to my extent whatever I can. Someone else is a super advanced devotee, he will glorify more. He will reveal more truths about the Supreme Lord. He will reveal more truths about Srimad Bhagavatam because the Lord is pleased with him. So he is able to reveal more truths like that. But can anyone claim that I know the entire Bhagavatam? I have studied, I know the whole Bhagavatam, now I'm going to speak. If that is my mood, then I have not understood Bhagavatam at all. Nobody can know the Supreme Lord completely. Nobody can know the Bhagavatam completely. That is the point. Then when we speak, what should be our mood? Our mood should be, we should glorify the Supreme Lord. We should glorify the Srimad Bhagavatam. And we should pray for the grace of the Supreme Lord, the mercy of the Supreme Lord to flow through us. Let Him speak through me. How, when will He speak through me? When I am surrendered to Him, isn't it? So our endeavor should be to surrender to the Lord, and also, as we read just now, not just to the Lord, to surrender to the devotees of the Lord, to the parampara that's coming from the Lord, all the devotees, to our immediate spiritual master, to our Param Gurudev, to the whole Guru Parampara, to all the Vaishnava Sangha. Then the Lord's mercy will flow, and by His mercy we may be able to glorify the Lord according to our capacity, small, big, whatever. But we cannot know everything about Bhagavatam. This should be the mood when we speak about Bhagavatam. Not that I know about Bhagavatam, I can speak. No one can know all the truths of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the same way, no one can know all the truths of Srimad Bhagavatam. This all the scriptures say. Anyone who declares, I understand Srimad Bhagavatam, does not really know the truth of Bhagavatam. Another thing. Anyone who declares, I understand Srimad Bhagavatam, does not really know the truth of Srimad Bhagavatam. But an uneducated person, look at this, you are uneducated too. An uneducated person who humbly takes shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam will easily see Srimad Bhagavatam's true meaning. Remember that story of Mahaprabhu with the South Indian Brahmana? He was not even a uh, literate. He couldn't even read the letters. And he was reading Bhagavad Gita every day. And Mahaprabhu said, because he was feeling for Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Lord and he has taken the position of a servant, a chariot driver of his devotee. My God, and just that thought brought tears to his eyes when he would open Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So Mahaprabhu said, you have understood. You have actually understood Bhagavad Gita. Not that person who's reciting so many verses but doesn't understand the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. You have understood. So simply knowing the words is not the qualification, right? Even an uneducated person who cannot even read can understand Srimad Bhagavatam if he humbly takes shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then he can very easily see Srimad Bhagavatam's true meaning. Srimad Bhagavatam is made of ecstatic spiritual love. Ecstatic spiritual love. It is Lord Krishna's own body. It describes Lord Krishna's secret pastimes. What is Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. Because Krishna and his body are not different like us. So when you say Krishna's body, it means Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna. It is made of spiritual love, ecstatic spiritual love, right? It describes Lord Krishna's secret pastimes. After speaking the Vedas and Puranas, Vedavyas was not happy at heart. But when Srimad Bhagavatam appeared on his tongue, at once he felt joy in his heart. When reading Srimad Bhagavatam, some people fall into danger. Honestly listen, O Brahmana, and I will tell you about this. Okay, one more point. When reading Srimad Bhagavatam, some people fall into danger. What is that? When you lecture, say that in the beginning, middle, and the end of Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, devotional service alone is described. Okay? You should say that Bhagavatam in the beginning, middle, and end, what is Bhagavatam teaching? Only devotional service. Then you will not commit offense. Then you will feel joy in your thoughts. Every scripture speaks only of devotional service to Lord Krishna. But Srimad Bhagavatam is especially sweet with the nectar of Lord Krishna. Every scripture is actually guiding to devotional service to Krishna. But Srimad Bhagavatam is directly giving the nectar of Sri Krishna. In this way, go and teach, explain to everyone the nectar of devotional service to Lord Krishna. Hearing the Lord's words, Devananda Pandit offered Dandavat obeisances. He knew he had become very fortunate. Again and again he offered obeisances. Then his heart meditating on the Lord's feet, the Brahmana departed. In this way, Lord Chaitanya explained to everyone the truth about Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam teaches devotion alone or devotional service alone. In its beginning, middle, and end, it teaches nothing else. A person who lectures on Srimad Bhagavatam but does not explain it in terms of devotional service wastes his words. He commits an offense. A person who lectures on Srimad Bhagavatam but does not explain it in terms of devotional service wastes his words. He commits an offense. Srimad Bhagavatam is the personification of the nectar of devotional service. Personification of the nectar of devotional service. Anyone who knows this becomes dear to Lord Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is the personification of the nectar of devotional service. Anyone who knows this becomes dear to Lord Krishna. Inauspiciousness never enters a home where the book Srimad Bhagavatam is kept. Anyone who worships Srimad Bhagavatam also worships Lord Krishna. Hearing and reading Srimad Bhagavatam are acts of devotion to Lord Krishna. The word Srimad Bhagavatam has two meanings. One is the book Srimad Bhagavatam, the other is a person who has attained Lord Krishna's mercy. Right? Person Bhagavatam. By regularly worshipping, reading, hearing, or seeing Srimad Bhagavatam, seeing means Bhagavatam book also, person also. One becomes a person like that, a person who has attained Lord Krishna's mercy. That is the truth. It is the truth. By regularly worshipping, reading, hearing, or seeing. Regularly. Okay, regularly. Reading or hearing or seeing Srimad Bhagavatam or worshipping Srimad Bhagavatam, one becomes a person like that, a person who has attained Lord Krishna's mercy. That is the truth. It is the truth. So just hold on to Srimad Bhagavatam. Regularly, you either read or hear or see Srimad Bhagavatam. By that, you will one day become a person who has attained Lord Krishna's mercy. When a sinner reads Srimad Bhagavatam, he does not understand it. He will blaspheme Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is the personification of the nectar of devotional service. One who knows this is very fortunate. Moment after moment, with his 1,000 mouths, Lord Nityananda explains the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam. Even today, Lord Nityananda Anantasesh is not able to complete his explanations. He is explaining the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam since time immemorial, and with his thousands of mouths he is explaining, and to this day he has not come to an end. Right? Lord Anantasesh has not come to an end. He is not able to complete his explanations. Even Lord Anantasesh cannot come to the end of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is said that Srimad Bhagavatam contains the sweetest nectar of pure devotional service. By speaking these words to Devananda Pandit, Lord Chaitanya explained to everyone the truth about Srimad Bhagavatam. To everyone who came with questions, Lord Chaitanya gave perfect answers. In this way, Sri Krishna Chaitanya went to Kulyagram. There was not a person at that place whom the Lord did not make fortunate and glorious. Gazing at the Lord, everyone became happy. Filling their eyes, everyone gazed at him again and again. Gazing at the Lord, everyone attained all their desires. They attained all they desired. Forgetting suffering and grief, they floated in spiritual bliss. Anyone who with a happy heart hears all these pastimes will attain Lord Chaitanya's association. It does not matter into what caste he was born. He becomes the best of persons. Anyone who with a happy heart hears these pastimes, he will get Lord Chaitanya's association, and it does not matter where he is born, what caste he is born into. He will become the best of persons. Anyone who hears the glories of Lord Krishna will never meet calamity. The two moons, Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda, are my life and soul. I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their feet. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai. So finally, after 3 weekends, we completed this chapter, chapter 3 of the Antya Khanda of Chaitanya Bhagavat. So we will start chapter 4 next Saturday. Thank you very much.